Referring to UK cities or London as non-English is a key point here.
The new women, I know the new women, they're great, aren't they? You know, the new ones we've been seeing lately, the ones with beards and they're as good as...
All right, let me first of all start by saying that with age should come wisdom, but clearly with John Cleese, it passed him by.
Wokeness is a form of emotional fascism. That's what John Cleese said about the state of comedy today. And let me tell you, he's not wrong. The guy who brought us Monty Python is worried about the future of funny. We're gonna dive into why legends like Cleese are sounding the alarm. You'll hear from the comedians themselves about how they're being silenced. It's time to wake up and smell the censorship, people. So you think comedians can still say whatever they want? Think again, pal. Back in the day, comedy was all about pushing boundaries and saying stuff that'd make your grandma blush. Now, it's like walking through a minefield in clown shoes. These days, one wrong joke and boom, you're Twitter's public enemy #1. Everyone's got their pitchforks out, ready to cancel you faster than you can say, it's just a joke. It's like the whole world's waiting for comedians to slip up so they can pounce. Let's talk about some of the comedy legends who've been put through the ringer lately. Take John Cleese, the guy who gave us Monty Python. Remember when he said London isn't English anymore?
All right, let me first of all start by saying that with age should come wisdom, but clearly with John Cleese, it passed him by. I am British. I'm not less British than John Cleese because I'm black. Referring to UK cities or London as non-English is a key point here.
Man, the woke mob lost their minds. They were calling him every name in the book, acting like he'd just kicked their puppy or something. But here's the kicker, Cleese was just stating facts. London's demographics have changed. That's not racist, it's reality. Look it up if you don't believe me. But nope, can't say that. Gotta pretend everything's exactly the same as it was in 1950 or you're a big bad bigot. The point is, comedians can't even make observations anymore without getting torn apart.
And what is it about Britishness that is not represented in any of our UK cities? Is it our government institutions? Britishness is not determined by the color of our skin. How are we not English? So by referring to it as not English, you have to ask him, what do you mean by not English?
It's like everyone's waiting with bated breath, ready to be offended. And don't even get me started on social media. One tweet and suddenly you're explaining yourself to HR or watching your next gig get canceled. And if you think it's just the old timers getting heat, oh boy, you're in for a surprise. Even the young up and comers are walking on eggshells. They're so scared of offending someone that their jokes are about as edgy as a beach ball. It's all my landlord's a jerk and dating apps, am I right? Snore.
Fascism, and he said actually it's not about racism, it's about culturalism, and he said that it's not as polite as it was.
This is a man who left the UK because it's full of foreigners and moved to a foreign country.
What happened to the days when comedians could actually, you know, be funny, when they could point out the absurdities in life without worrying about some blue-haired Twitter warrior calling them problematic? It's like we've forgotten that comedy is supposed to make us uncomfortable sometimes. That's the whole point. But no, now we've got comedy specials that are more like TED Talks with a laugh track. Everyone's so busy virtue signaling that they forget to write actual jokes. And don't even get me started on late night TV. It's just an endless parade of hosts dunking on the same political targets night after night. Real brave guys, real edgy. And remember when comedians could actually make people laugh without worrying about some Twitter mob coming for their head? Yeah, those days are long gone. Now we've got this wild situation where even the so-called progressive comedians are getting caught in the crossfire. How'd we end up here? Let's break it down. You ever notice how the people screaming about tolerance are usually the least tolerant? It's like they missed the memo on what the word actually means. But that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to why comedy's getting neutered these days. See, it's not just about hurt feelings anymore. Now we've got this whole punching up versus punching down rule. Sounds noble, right? Wrong. It's killing comedy faster than you can say that's offensive. But who gets to decide what's up and what's down? The woke Twitter mob, that's who. And let me tell you, they've got some pretty twisted ideas about power dynamics.
What about this person that isn't a lady? Well, his The new women, I know the new women, they're great, aren't they? You know, the new ones we've been seeing lately, the ones with beards and they're as good as...
Claiming that his jokes about the trans community are hurtful and damaging.
Oh, they want to use our toilets. Why shouldn't they use your toilets? For ladies. They are ladies. Look at their pronouns.
Take Ricky Gervais, for example. Guy made some jokes about trans activists in his Netflix special, and suddenly he's public enemy number 1. The woke brigade accused him of punching down. But here's the kicker. Gervais said he was actually mocking the bullies who go after women, so by their own logic, he was punching up. But nah, can't have that. Doesn't fit the narrative.
Just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right. I'm often asked if there's anything you shouldn't joke about, and the answer is no. Someone is going to be offended by everything you say. Someone, somewhere in the world, will find what you say offensive. There's nothing you shouldn't joke about, but it depends what the joke is. Comedy comes from a good or a bad place.
You know what's really messed up? Even the comedians who try to play by these new rules are getting caught in the crossfire. It's like a circular firing squad out there. Say the wrong thing, and boom, your own side turns on you. No wonder comics are scared to death of their own shadows. And get this, comedy clubs are shutting down left and right. Why? Because people are too scared to laugh anymore. They're worried someone's gonna call them out for finding the wrong joke funny. It's like we're living in some twisted version of 1984, where the thought police are a bunch of blue-haired college kids with too much time on their hands.
It really is that case of people come up and they say, oh, I was offended by that joke. And, my first reaction is, I don't care. I'm not one of those people that think, I'm going to say what I want, I'm going to be as offensive and then go fuck you as a joke. Do you know what I mean? I like the discomfort of expressing and talking about really uncomfortable things.
Bottom line, when everything's off limits, nothing's funny anymore. Comedians are walking on eggshells, checking their privilege every 5 seconds, and forgetting to actually write jokes. It's no wonder people are tuning out of these safe comedy shows. Turns out, audiences actually want to laugh, not sit through a woke lecture with a laugh track. But hey, don't take my word for it. The numbers don't lie. People are flocking to the comedians who still have the balls to say what everyone's thinking. Meanwhile, the safe comics are playing to empty rooms. Guess people would rather laugh than virtue signal.
Remember, they're just jokes. We're all going to die soon, and there's no sequel.
It's basically a bloke talking, which is essentially what stand-up comedy is, isn't it? A bloke talking. Sexist.
So, let's go out with a bang. Let's have a laugh at your expense, shall we?
Who knew? So there you have it, folks. Comedy's on life support, and the woke mobs got their finger on the plug. It's like we're living in some bizarro world where jokes are a crime and being offended is a virtue. But here's the thing, just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right, you know? Look, if we don't start standing up for free speech soon, the only jokes left will be knock-knock jokes. And even those might offend someone's door. It's ridiculous, right? We gotta wake up and smell the censorship before it's too late. You want to make a difference? Go support the comedians who still have the guts to speak their minds. Buy tickets to their shows, share their stuff online. Let's show these woke warriors that we're not gonna let them kill comedy without a fight. Now go watch some George Carlin and remember what real comedy sounds like. Trust me, your funny bone will thank you.